Hey, what's up guys, this is Anand Kotari from Tech Clinic, and if you're watching this video today, probably you already know what iOS beta version is, and you probably know that it's already out there for you to use. But many people don't know about it is to what extent can it harm your device and your personal details. Let's talk about it more. Alright, so first let me talk a little bit about the beta versions. So Apple usually have a developer beta version and then it releases its public beta version. So currently they have the developer beta version in the market, which basically is for people who have personally signed up to gain those beta versions on their website, so that they can just play around with the new features coming up, and maybe they can create content on top of it. Many content creators get those developer beta versions on their cell phone so that they can create videos out of it. And yes, it is mainly for the people who are very interested and excited about the new upcoming features in the Apple devices. Alright, so I have picked up the most asked questions on the internet and I have noted that down over here, and I'm going to answer them one by one. Alright, so let's start with the first question. Would it impact my daily work? Alright, so let me clear this up. This is a developer beta version and not a public beta version. So you will probably find more bugs in this version than the public beta version, which is going to release later in July. It's expected to release on like 13th or 14th of July, but we don't have a clear date yet. So if you're a person who uses a cell phone a lot and your work is dependent on your cell phone, do not. So I'm answering this in the first question itself. Do not install the developer beta version on your main device at least, so that it doesn't impact your daily work. So some of the issues which people are facing are automatic application closure, flickering of screen, auto restart, running slow. And because this is a beta version, there is a possibility that you might lose your data as well. So Apple clearly states on their official websites that you need to take your backup first before installing the iOS 14 on your cell phone. Alright, so the second question is, can I fix it back if it breaks my phone? Well, now this is a good question, and that is the main reason why Apple asks you to take a backup of your device so that you can revert back to the previous version, basically iOS 13. So now, but there is a catch in there. So if you are in a situation where you have already lost all your data and now the only option is to revert back to iOS 13, even after reverting back, you won't get your data back. Make sense? But yes, if you're facing any annoying issues which you cannot tolerate anymore and you want to go back to the previous version, you can do that. You can revert back to iOS 13 without losing any data. But yes, back it up. First thing, back it up. Well, the next and the most favorite question of mine is my confidential data at risk? Well, the answer is yes and no. Now I'm saying yes because the iOS 14 was leaked in February, and not just little bit of features. Now this time someone have obtained the iPhone 11, which was dated in 2019, which had iOS 14 on it, and then that person leaked the code in the iPhone's jailbreaking and hacking community. And this is the reason why it is a very big risk to have a developer beta version on your device. But to be honest, there is a higher chance now that your confidential data is not at risk after the developer launch, because there is a battle between good developers and the hackers. And I think that the good developers are doing a very good job right now. That's why they have released the developer version. So obviously the Apple developers are making sure that the good features you have in your cell phone are not taking your confidential data anywhere. Now, after all these questions, if you still haven't received your answer, now after all these questions, if you have still not received your answer about if you should go ahead and download the iOS developer beta version, so the answer is, if you're using your personal device, if that is the only device you have, I would not suggest to go ahead and install the developer beta version on that thing. Because if you're installing this in your main device which you use on day-to-day basis, there is a higher chance that you are going to face many issues while using the cell phone, and that is not something you want to face on day-to-day basis. So basically my recommendation would be to hold off until unless they release the public beta version, because the public beta should have less number of bugs compared to developer beta version. So it will be more stable, and also there is a lower chance of losing all your data from the cell phone. And this is an additional note for the Apple device users, that if you're using an Apple Watch, I would really not suggest to update it to iOS 7. The reason behind it is because you won't be able to revert back to the previous version. That's the downside of it. So if your Apple Watch is draining battery really fast because of any processing issues, then you won't be able to revert back to your previous version, and then you might end up charging your watch more than expected. And Apple have also come out with their iPad OS 14 version and macOS Big Sur for their laptops and PCs. So in the end, if you're finally decided no, you have to get the developer beta version right now on your devices, so there is a good news for you guys as well. The iOS 14 is compatible with iPod Touch 7th generation, the iPhone SE 1st and 2nd generation, and the iPhone 6s and newer models. So now, because you have so many options in iPhone, you can pull out those old devices which you have, like any iPhone 6s or any other versions before the iPhone 11. If you're using iPhone 11 right now, pull out those devices, install the beta version on them, and play with it as much as you want without impacting your day-to-day activities. Alright guys, so this is it. I hope this video have helped you and at least brought your mind to a situation where you can decide whether you want the iOS beta version on your device right now or no. If still not, if you have any questions, please feel free to put down your questions in the comment section down below, and I'll be happy to help you out with that. Till then, you can keep watching my other videos, and I hope you do not forget to subscribe to this channel. I have so much things to talk about, but I just want to make this video so short so that I can give the best data in few minutes. That's how we do it. I'll see you in the next one.